Welcome to The Hub by Built Environment Magazine. We focus on real estate, property management, integrated facilities management, community management, and the PropTech sectors. This is Swalia Shanavas, Senior Editor at Media Fusion. We are continuing our series on the evolution of CAFM systems, a vital tool for FM providers. This limited podcast series is powered by Facilio. Through this series, we hope to explore the barriers for O&M teams to transition into their strategic roles. We also highlight success stories from the new connected CAFM approach. To talk about this and more, we have with us today Mark Hazelwood, Managing Director at Q3 Services, UK. He has a proven track record of delivering change, innovation, and business efficiency in the facilities management environment. He has experience working with a variety of industry sectors to deliver solutions that have been recognized by industry peers. Thank you for joining us here today, Mark.
You're welcome.
So clients expect more from FM than ever before. Thanks to the pandemic and looming climate action regulations, facilities managers are called upon to transform into strategic partners, actively contributing to wellness, decarbonization, and net zero goals. So how is Q3 coping with this transition, and what are your top goals and strategies in today's business environment?
I think at Q3, we have a little bit of an advantage. We're a relatively young company. So actually, some of the sort of differences that have happened in the workplace post-pandemic, actually, we've managed to bring in our model from day one. And I think what's been key for us is very much focusing on how our clients want to operate in their building, and getting the best outcomes out of their building while their colleagues are within it. And I think no longer with hybrid working, are people working 5 days a week, 9 to 5. And we're trying to work with our clients to ensure what they have are destination workplaces where somebody can come into the office and absolutely get the best use out of it when they're there.
You probably see the developing trend of FMs considering technology as a key competitive edge. Is CAFM systems in their current form equipped to enable FMs in this tech transition?
In the UK market, a lot of the CAFMs are still fundamentally very old pieces of software. So as things have developed with use of Internet of Things, starting to use apps in the workplace, getting better use out of data science, management information, that's had to be put on top of older bits of software. So actually starting to integrate all of that is quite difficult, and you're ending up with several apps to get to the thing you want to achieve for your customer, and integration just adding complexity to the whole of that model.
How do you see the role of CAFM in the strategic FM operations?
I think going forward, it's really underpinning sort of certain levels of delivery. So we'll start at the base level. Obviously, it's very important for our customers that, one, their buildings are compliant, they're legal, they're safe for their colleagues to work in, fundamental that we control cost. And then there is a lot of the reporting elements, that the net zero side of things, carbon, where the CAFM is key in making sure that those things can be reported back. The other thing is utilization of buildings in this hybrid working environment, making sure that any investment in property actually is connected to really efficient use of a building and getting the outcomes that fit with our customers' sort of business requirements.
So how do you think the advent of latest enterprise tech in CAFM systems is advancing in the UK market? And can you mention how these address the frustrations that you have mentioned?
I'd start by saying sort of advancements in CAFM in the UK have still got a long way to go. I think with the modern applications that we're seeing, it's this one-stop shop to do everything that you want to do. So fundamentally, if you want to integrate, if you want to bring in some of the stuff with sensors and IoT, that's built into the application. You're not having to do something with a third-party piece of software. I'd say the same with management information. Again, I'm not going to have to purchase something else. I can fundamentally do that out of my core application. And I think what that does is it moves things from what happened yesterday or an hour ago to actually what is the pulse of my service right now. So being able to react in a live situation on what's going on in a building and making you far more sort of proactive rather than the traditional reactive model of delivery.
What's the rate of tech adoption in UK at the moment?
It's slow. So I think in reality, you see a lot of talk in the UK FM industry around technology. Fundamentally, it's still not embedded into service delivery models. So I describe it as the cherry on top of the cake rather than fundamentally something in the mix of how we deliver FM.
Okay. Are there any best practices for organizations who are considering CAFM system transition, and why is it important for them to make that decision now?
Yeah, I think what's key for me is actually starting fundamentally with what am I trying to achieve? So having a robust model around what is my business requirement, and then a mechanism to demonstrate with whatever you do with your CAFM selection that it is delivering those business requirements. There tends to be a bit of a thing in UK market when it comes to FM related software, where I'd say it's go find the shiny thing rather than looking at something that fundamentally addresses your business issues. I think it's also key making sure that the thing you're buying today is fit for today and for the future, and it allows you to work in a way that culturally fits your business rather than you having to adapt to the software you've just purchased, and can fully integrate with other core applications such as your ERP in your organization, so you're not creating duplication in your CAFM.
Talking about the connected CAFM pillars now, people, processes, and systems. What's your view on that?
It's fundamental.
Is there a gap anywhere?
Absolutely is a gap. So I think people don't think, I think the process side of things is the key gap. So I think people will purchase a piece of software and not really think that actually what I've bought at this point is an empty piece of software that requires data and requires a culture of delivery to make sure what's in it has some value. The old garbage in, garbage out thing is very corny, but it's still very true. And it's just making sure that you have the culture around and it isn't just about the software, it's a culture of delivery that makes sure you're getting the best value out of that investment.
Okay. So can you share any success metrics on how Facilio's connected CAFM has positively impacted client satisfaction, service quality, and operational efficiency?
I think to start with, it's the fact as an organisation in Q3 we're doing things differently. It's being received very well by our clients, and it's a thing that a lot of the other players in the UK market have a very set offering. So the fact we've been working with Facilio, it's that's very different, and I think it's giving our customers some key things. So I think the key one would be visibility from compliance, cost, how the building's being used, but displaying that information in a manner that is not very technical FM. It's known to our clients, so we can use metrics that are meaningful to them, which is important. I think there's the key control. So control of cost is very key to our clients. So we've been able to do that in a very simple way, map to structures within our client. Integration with wider applications has been very important, such as finance systems, giving access to the wider community in our client. So having every colleague being able to access self-service apps to log issues, to see what's going on in their building, to pass important messages to them, and being able to do that in a very plain language way. I've seen technology in this industry that almost expects a client colleague to be an air conditioning expert to log I'm hot or I'm cold. So we're doing things in sort of very plain language to assist our clients. I think it's absolutely key that we give the client that one source of the truth. This is what we're doing. It's fully transparent. So from the level of compliance, cost control, and how your building is being utilised, you can see everything you need to see in a meaningful fashion. And I think, as I said before, it's this moving this from what happened yesterday to what is going on now. So our clients have a live pulse of their buildings and how they're operating, which is becoming increasingly important in a hybrid working environment.
Would you like to add anything more to this?
Yeah, I think the other key thing we've been particularly sort of doing with our clients at the moment, so obviously a lot of what we're doing is based upon a contractual relationship, and what's traditionally happened in the UK market is at the end of a relationship, you might give some clients some data from a CAFM application. What they do with that client, with that data, I don't really know. So we try to be very very sort of different in the marketplace. And what we're saying to our clients, if we ever part company, which absolutely we don't want to, we will actually novate our contractual relationship with Facilio to you. We think that's a much more progressive way of dealing with our clients. So we don't leave them with a load of data they can't use. They've got an application they can take forward.
Thank you so much, Mark, for your time and for sharing your thoughts.
Not a problem. Good to talk to you.
That was Mark Hazelwood from Q3 Services, providing his perspective on CAFM systems. Thank you.